So Health and Community Services Workforce Council has been developing this staff exchange program over the last 4 years, providing opportunity for practitioners to come and visit with another service, learn from their peers' experience and expertise. This model has since been extended and adapted to meet the needs of other health and community services that were motivated by achieving a different outcome. This DVD intends to highlight the resources and the support that were offered in coordinating and managing these exchanges, which we'll hear from some of our hosts and exchangees a little bit later, and I guess some of the learning and development outcomes being delivered through this innovative approach to workforce development.
I think part of the value of the Workforce Development Network is actually getting organisations to be thinking about this as a sector-wide thing rather than just as an organisational thing. That is a bit of a shift for us in regard to the way we're sort of conditioned to compete because of a competitive funding model, to do that shift to actually we're responsible for a good, robust sector rather than you know, a siloed organisation. So I think that there's been real value in the Workforce Development Network approach to this, in saying these organisations can work together and actually end up with a good, strong workforce, rather than, gee, that organisation's got a great workforce and these guys can't compete, you know. So I think that that's really healthy, and I think that's part of the value of that network, and actually having regional and place-based solutions to things rather than something just parachuted in from somewhere else. So that's great value from the Workforce Development Network.
I had two staff particularly that I thought could benefit from the staff exchange. Having been on the Workforce Development Network, I was aware of the program, obviously, and the opportunity was there for staff to take up, and I could see that two of my staff I thought would benefit from it. One particularly was feeling some frustration, some disillusionment, I suppose, from the sector, and as we've talked before about the wanting to retain staff in the sector, if not necessarily just in the organisation. I thought it might be an opportunity for that staff person to experience another position, have a look at a rural perspective, just get a bit of a different idea about what other support workers were doing, and that worked quite well for that particular staff person.
So I guess being able to give workers an experience outside of their own role, maybe they've gone and done some training and got a bit of a taste of what it might be like to go and work differently somewhere else, or work in a kind of a different role, but what's the reality of that? Is that something that they really would want to do? To provide them with that opportunity is one of the sort of the retention strategies, I guess, that we thought could work.
I guess for me as an employer individually, and for the organisation more widely, it really was being able to offer staff something that they wouldn't have got from another professional development opportunity. Yeah, there were some benefits in having staff that were that actually came back a little bit more energised, more resourced, and you know, still functioning and still in their position.
The great thing is what I was able to take back is not just a work relationship. We were also able to take resources of their program. I was able to take resources back to me, and we still keep in contact. So it's actually a really good, actually a friendship and a work relationship.
Exchange of knowledge, exchange of information, exchange of practice, and exchange of ways of working. So we're not actually doing the swapping a worker exchange, we're actually in exchange for an experience. The host, an experience for the worker, the host also gains something from that by actually having to showcase what they do.
Some of the benefits of doing the staff exchange were getting a chance to look at different systems, really seeing where our systems do match other systems, to kind of show that they are the right systems we have in place. Also, where some deficits in our own systems currently exist, there's a good chance to see how other people solve those problems. And since then we've been able to implement some of those things and improve our own systems as a result.
Host organisations invite in a worker to come and have an experience with them in a role that either a role that's different to what they do, or in an organisation that's perhaps completely different to what they do. So you might have someone working in a small organisation or being a sole worker somewhere, come and have an experience with a larger organisation and see what the differences are, different ways of working.
So by the staff person linking into the statewide network, that's been able to bring a different perspective into her practice and into the team that she's involved with.
Making the exchange relevant, I was conscious that this was a fairly new area for us, and I wanted to develop a program for the time he was here that was going to facilitate that exchange of ideas. I think that was important, that we developed that he didn't just sit and observe things that may not have been relevant to his role, that, you know, we were both learning. Yeah, that was important.
Just the chance to get out there and see how other things operate, have a chance to hear input from staff on the ground who aren't necessarily, you know, managed by yourself, so they're more willing to give feedback and discussion than your own staff might be. So it's just that, it's a good chance to talk about ideas and in a different environment, still with people who are familiar with the sector and with the industry.
It was very much coming in and being part of our finance team for 3 days, looking at our processes, sharing ideas on how we do things, diverse things from payroll to quality assurance processes to, you know, processing an invoice.
It's not just around the direct practice stuff, so also around our the rest of the supports in the organisation, so administration, finance, and, you know, your training people, any of that sort of stuff, any of your workers across the industry at all, and giving those workers an opportunity to also have a look at how people operate in different situations to what they're working in.
I think both of the staff that did the exchanges from our organisation realised that there was new systems, new resources, new networks that they could tap into, which is what they both did, and they've of course brought that information back to our organisation.
And I think it was important for us that it was a good fit for Robert to come into our organisation, so we looked at his position description for his current role and made sure that we developed a program that gave him access to the people he needed to get access in our finance and our quality assurance departments, so he could have that exchange of ideas and processes.
I guess that ultimately what we'd like to see from this program is that organisations recognise the value and actually build it into part of the way they provide professional development for their staff.
One of the key takeaways from the exchange experience was that, you know, across the sector, the service delivery, peak body, we all face similar problems and similar challenges, and that there are resources out there if we work together that can help achieve those. I would really strongly encourage everyone to take part in the exchange program.
I would absolutely recommend this program for whoever is able to go. They should really take it.
If you or your organisation have seen something on this DVD that has sparked your interest and you would like to consider using this innovative workforce development tool in your organisation, then just get in contact with us here at the Workforce Council.